Hello, she's Trixie, and I'm Sarah, and this is Our Yarn World, a place where we come to share the love of yarn crafts and all that gives us and what we hope it gives you. We are on episode 144 to this fine day.
Yes.
And we hope that you're having a great day, that your projects are going well, that you're not having any interruptions, that you're not having any setbacks, that everything's going as splendidly as your mood takes you onto your hobby the way that you are hoping that it does.
Yes.
Unlike us. Anyway, we'll get to that later. As always, we hope that you are ready for a good time and just to come and fellowship with us for a little while. And
do your projects right along with us.
So, yes. Mom, how is your projects going this week?
Well,
It's been a week.
it has gone from really, really hot to almost fall colors. I've seen leaves coming off the trees. I've seen trees that have already started turning. It's only August.
I had a limb fall down.
Yeah. It's just so. Last week I was in shorts, and this week I'm in pants and a t-shirt.
So much colder yesterday
yeah.
than I expected.
So working on the blanket isn't so bad anymore.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's that.
I just tried this on my bed, and I'm about 2/3 of the way done. And this is the queen size Afghan that I'm making of Lassie brand yarn. It's a wool blend, or a wool, it's a wool blend. It's made in Italy. And I got this at a thrift store in a big old mesh bag with a bunch of colors. It was 24 colors, or 24 skeins of mostly grays, a black, a white, and a gold. And so I'm going to show you from bottom to top, well, from the start of this to where I am now.
Do I need
Nope,
okay.
I folded it. So I thought at the beginning that I was going to be doing black, and then the next darkest color, and the next I was going to do
An ombre
effect all the way through to the
like
white.
a gradient with the...
Right, all the way to the white, and then the gold was going to be last. And I had that set. I had all my colors all lined up. So I ended up doing all of my black at the beginning, and then I went to my dark gray, and I got bored very, very easily, and I thought, nope, I can't do this. So I started switching colors. This is why I have lovingly called this my random blanket, because when I get random thoughts, I want to switch colors, I'm doing it.
It's your mood blanket.
Yeah. So what I'm doing though is making sure that I'm doing full lines. I'm cutting out in the middle of a line. I am doing full lines, so it's going to be fully striped. And trying it on the bed, it looked like almost like a sweater on my bed. It was so pretty. And so
Love that.
it's blacks and grays and white and just another, and this nice gold sets it really off. When I put it on the bed, it was like gold, 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 and it was just like it was almost as if I was doing this in a pattern, but I'm really not.
It's like a goth honeybee.
Yeah. And so I'm just going through and I'm switching colors whenever I feel like it. And it's, it's getting there. We're getting there. So right now I'm going back into the medium gray. And I will say that this yarn, this ball is going to take me quite a bit. It's a smaller strand than I'm used to. It may just be a 3, but I'm used to working with 4s, so there's a lot of yarn in this ball, and in all the balls that I had. And so I'm finding that it lasts a long time. I don't know if I will have enough to get to the top of the bed, but with the yarn that we've been getting from other people, I have been finding wool yarn in with it, and it's grays. And so I do have a couple more grays that are comparable to this. And so if I need to, when I get done and it's not quite up to par, up where I need it to be, I will just put some more of those into it. But I'm going to try and use up all my Lassie Manita first, and then see where I'm at on the bed. And I think when I'm done with this, I was going to use this for our bed, but I do have a lot of blankets. I have made a lot of blankets over the years.
Or
I'm
quilts.
looking at some right now in my rocking chair over there. I don't have enough people to give them to. I mean, there's a lot of people out there, but in my inner circle, everybody that's in my inner circle already has one. So, so my daughter has said, because I had her come in and look at the bed with this blanket on it, and I just said, wow, this looks like a sweater on my bed. And she says, these are my colors. And I'm like, ooh, maybe I will just hand it off to my daughter when it's all done.
Yeah, I'm not going to complain.
And to be honest with you, I spent $6 on all of this yarn that came from Italy, and it's wool to boot. So at the thrift store, they just didn't know what they had. Mm-hmm. And she's going to be getting quite a blanket. It fits over both edges. It fits over the bottom of the bed.
It's going to be my reading blanket.
And it's going to be, it will fit a queen size bed. So I told her, I said, too bad you don't have a queen size because they have a king. So she's like, I'll just use it on the couch. I'm like, okie dokie. So what are you working on, little miss?
What am I working on, Mother? My good Lord.
Well, this is not for me. This is a thing that she's making for another client. So
I did a thing. To be fair, I was asked. Someone came up to me asking, very particularly, being like, I have this notebook that I enjoy using. It's a type of notebook that they continuously buy over time, so that their notebooks, I think, are the same. They always continuously buy this type of notebook.
So it's always the same size.
Yes, same size, same type. But they said that the one noticeable to them flaw is that it has no like elastic little band or anything or any placement on the notebook where it would be easily accessible for a pen. And they're like, so is there any way that you can solve that problem for me where it can pass down to any notebook that I use? And I was like, yeah. In my mind, I was like, okay, well, I've seen those little pen holders that are kind of similar. They kind of remind me of fanny packs where it's like a little zipper. You kind of throw the pen in.
Let me go show you. I have one.
It's like a little pocket that's just the size of a pen, but it has an elastic that can go around the front hardcover book cover. And yeah, my mom's gonna show. It's literally similar to this, where it's like a little fanny pack just for a pen, and then it's an elastic that can either go around the book and be a holder for the book itself, or it can literally go just around, if it was like a hardcover notebook, just go around the front of that notebook so that, you know, it can still be worn on the notebook while you're using it. But it literally has a zipper and can just hold whatever you need in there, and like a utensil carrier for just your notebook. And I was like, I can do that. There's different styles to that effect that could be used. I had a whole different thing.
And to be honest with you, I just flipped it because I didn't want you to see the top of my book. Mm-hmm. But usually I have it as it's on the top of it. Mm-hmm. So when I'm carrying it and I'm going to carry it anywhere, it will be on the top of my book. I just wanted you to see the nice gold on the back. That's all.
So it's just one of those things where I thought that that's what he was thinking. And yeah, that would have been fine. I could have made him a whole set of those and that
Oh,
would have
yeah.
been fine.
Yeah.
But then he was like, and that was what was in my head. Then my husband was like, when I think of pencil case for a notebook, I'm thinking like a book wrap where it's like the back sleeve and the note of the book can slide into a sleeve and then you can and it's like this extra exterior for the book that notebook that you're using, almost like a book cover, but like it would have a place for pens. And so I looked at those styles online and I started screenshotting. I screenshotted things like this. I screenshotted things like that where it's like a folio that you could literally wrap around the notebook. And I sent them to him and he chose a very specific style where it was much more of like the book cover with the pens holding. And I was like, oh, so that's what he was thinking. I'm glad that I verified. Glad that I asked other people, because if I had just brought him that, he would have taken it, but I'm sure he would have been like, that's not what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I'm considering making him a couple of these as a thank you just for the order, because this is such a generous consideration for me, because making this, I am making it out of leather. Now, I have a whole bunch of leather hides that I was gifted by my father, who received them from someone else, who I think had a farm and had the leathers made from, I don't know. It's what I think. I feel like my dad mentioned that he got them from the person who actually had them produced, but then didn't have any reason to use them and was planning to sell them or whatever, but then out of trade with my father for something else, he ended up giving my father them. My father ended up having no use for them and gifted them to me. And I've held them for years, and now it's like, this is the perfect time to use them.
Yeah.
And so I recently pulled them out and I offered him all my colors, and I have this really nice dark forest green, and that's the one that he chose. And I blueprinted based off of one photo, the one style that he liked out of all of them, and I blueprinted that with wrapping paper and packing tape, and I made all the inserts to how this was gonna be. So every single layer was something that I could cut out and make a pattern for myself once I got the leather. But when I rolled out my leather can wrinkle, and my leather was rolled, it was not folded, but it wasn't stored properly. It's been moved since I was a teenager, around and around and around, and I've moved at least 2-3 times. And so it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's gonna get just thrown in a corner.
Right.
And so I've learned that leather can be ironed if you do it gently, and you'd never leave the iron idle.
No.
Because you're dealing with skin. And it can burn. Not that any fabric can't do that either, but just, you want to be careful with your leathers.
So she's actually ironing while she's talking with
Right
you.
now, I'm trying to iron, and because leather
So if you're
stretches,
hearing that noise,
and leather stretches, so as you're heating up any spot, you kind of pull on it and let it dry, stretched. That helps. Well, anyway, here's my dilemma. Technically, I've already made this project. I was supposed to give it to the client today. But I didn't have all the materials technically. I had my leather kit. I had all the things I technically needed at a bare minimum. And a lot of the other things were more suggestions. But as I did it, from other crafters and people who have been doing this a lot longer than me, and a lot of people that were like, their advice would have been, don't go without these things. Like, these are staples for me, even if you're just new at this, because you don't want to make these rookie mistakes.
right?
I made the rookie mistake, and so I'm redoing this. That's all right. That's okay, because my client is very patient and said that was fine. And I'm very grateful to him for that. Now, you're going to see a product that's not fully done. But this is a general idea as to what I had. The idea, and like I said, this is not burnished, this is not even fully done, but the idea is this sleeve would slip in his notebook so that it could be laying out. This would have been a folder. This is really hard to, can you hold this corner for me? Thank you. This would have been a folder on the other side where he could have put notes. This would have been a place to have held pockets. So this strap would have held the tops. This little pocket right here would have held the bottoms of the pens, and he could have lined them up. And then as a way to close it around it, I had magnet sutures to be able to snap it in place. But I made rookie mistakes, which meant that my seams weren't lining up and things were shifting, and it would have not have been a finished product that I would have been proud to deliver for someone who, it's not just a perfectionism, it is a, I don't want to make something that is not at the quality that I know I'm capable of and will not age correctly due to the imperfections. This product would not age well because of how the seam was and how it wasn't lining up. Things would have possibly torn, possibly stretched in the wrong way, and made this product not last as long, and he probably would not have enjoyed it. I have now learned from that, and I am already cutting out my pieces and redoing it. And yes, I do have all the things to be able to burnish, and I have my wax, and because I'm doing wax instead of stain, and it's dark. I don't really feel like I have to worry about that too much, and I have all my kit and everything. But my goodness, when I say it's been a learning curve, it's been a good thing. It's been very humbling even, because there's a reality to, and I don't mean this in any sort of silly way. It's just a reality though, as a person who has been crafting for such a long time, and it has always come by me instinctually. I don't know how many crafters I've come up with that were many years my senior who have told me, you seem to get this much more quickly than someone who's just normally learning it at a natural pace. You tend to get it more naturally. And that's not me trying to toot my own horn, that does come at a flaw, because you go in thinking that you're going to get it instinctually when you've been told that for a long time.
Right.
And even though I knew that that was something that I have to guard for myself so that I don't make rookie mistakes, that I do still learn from people who have been doing it for years and years and years and years, because this still is my officially first time making a serious leather product where it's like, and I'm not just doing it for giggles and doing it just to be able to say that I have something in my closet that's made out of leather for me, where I don't care if it's perfect. This is something where someone's paying money for me to do it correctly, for me to be able to make something that is customized to them. I also even made a cardboard cutout that's even as thick. So they told me how long, how wide, and how deep their notebooks on average are. And I made a cardboard cutout so that I knew that when I was doing it, I had something with the thickness and the sturdiness to be able to be like, okay, it's going to be roughly this.
Yeah.
Like this. I was trying to make sure I wasn't making the mistakes. I was like, I'm trying to make sure that I am investing well for this person so that they have a finished product that I will not have needed to have their notebook to be able to have done this with. And they've been so gracious. I literally I woke up early this morning after staying up late last night working on this project, and I woke up to realizing it wasn't going to work. I was so tired last night that I couldn't see that I was making the mistake. And I already have, the irony is that last night, before my husband went to bed, he went to Joann's to get me the wax for the burnishing and the rubber cement so that when I place things down, they would hold before I punched the holes and stitched it. And I punched the holes without the aid of keeping my layers from shifting.
Oh gosh.
I started sewing, and so everything was off kilter, and my stitches didn't look good. And you know what?
And when you're tired, you do make those kind of mistakes.
Yeah, when you're tired, you're just doing it. You're going through motions. You're not even paying attention.
Yeah.
I've done that even with crochet. I think everyone that is watching this video has made that error. But having to make that text message this morning where I had to say, I have an unfortunate update, and I hope you have grace for me to have this extended postponement for the product to get to you.
Right.
And luckily he was like, I'm in no rush. I want it to come out good, and this is not supposed to be something that stresses you out. And it's not that he was stressing me out or being like, hey, is it done yet? Hey, is it done yet? Is it done yet? He wasn't doing that to me. It was just one of those things where it's like, I wanted to deliver it on the timeline that I had given myself.
Right.
And some of the reasons why it was not done in the time lot that I did have was because I needed tools. So I was waiting for them to come in, and so that crunched my time limit even smaller, and da-da-da-da. But you know what? It's a good learning experience, and I do believe that this will lead to a possibly really cool experience of what I could possibly make with the stuff I have.
Exactly.
And let's see what happens from there. Do I know what sort of leather this is? And even if it's real leather, I do not know.
I think it's real.
You do?
Yeah.
Because there is a possibility this is vegan leather, but I just don't feel like it is with how it's soft on the inside.
It's got suede on the inside and it's leather on the outside. That's real.
Okay. And I know that some people have a very hard, they do not agree with this sort of a thing. And I do hope that any of our viewers that do not normally view maybe using raw materials in this way, can understand that as of right now, I've always grown up with you use what you have and you don't abuse things until you get there. For me, it's like, I do eat meat. I do consume these and use these materials in this way. But do I endorse anyone abusing animals or using them in a way that is not still moral? No.
Right.
We're just
using what we have.
We're using what we have. I'm not going out of my way to hurt anybody.
Right.
To receive these materials, nor would I condone anyone harvesting these materials inhumanely.
Right, no.
There's nothing in me that would want that.
Right.
But I receive these materials through reputable resources that I trust, and I do believe that any animal that I received this from was dealt right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just felt the need to say that because there's just people have experiences, especially with people that farm these sort of materials where it was done wrong. Yeah. And I do condone to those people who have experienced those things done very inhumanely. Yeah. I know they're animals, but you're the human. When you kind of have that God complex where you're able to put your will on some other being, be gracious.
Yeah.
That is not something that we were given the authority of to abuse.
Right.
That's how I view it.
Right. It's unfortunate if that has happened.
But yes, I am excited for this new development and me learning a new skill. And it's fun and it's new and I'm learning a lot.
And she's hand stitching on leather, so she's still stitching.
Yes. All this is still done by hand. My husband's trying to see if he can make me a saddle pony, which is a type of clamp to hold my work in front of me as I hand stitch. But right now I'm doing a saddle stitch with just no help. So luckily the rubber cement, letting that sit, will definitely help my aid to still come out with a good product, even if I do not have my saddle pony to be able to have the work in front of me instead of
So today we have a quote. I do not know who said it. Wherever I got this does not have the person who said it. So it says, we should seize every opportunity to give encouragement. And I think that's so true. My grandma taught me this well. She was an encouragement and she gave encouragement to others.
Yes.
So well. And so we should seize every opportunity to give encouragement. I want to to let you know that we are so grateful that you are with us,
Yes.
that you have joined us, that you are giving us likes and views and just everything. And we ask that if you do like this, that you would give it a thumbs up, that you would share it with your friends, and hopefully we could get more viewers to watch our little channel and learn what we're doing. So we're trying to give you encouragement, and in every way that we can. Whatever you're doing, we're encouraging you to do that, to finish your projects, to let us know what you're doing. Show us what you're doing, or tell us what you're doing in the comments. We're grateful for every one of you.
How we normally start our videos by saying that we are a place that loves yarn, pretty much any yarn art, and that we would, and we hope that you do too, and the enjoyment that it gives us. The reality is that it's any craft. It's any craft that gives joy, that sparks fulfillment, that creates peace. We would love that just for anybody, that what we receive, the enjoyment and the love and just the spark of creation that we do feel every single time we are creating and doing a finished product even, and just being able to have that, there's a sense of intense fulfillment that cannot be met in any other way than creating something. I mean, my brothers create music. Yeah. My dad has built homes.
Yeah.
You know, writing a book, it doesn't even have to be something that's a physical thing as much as just something that has been made in your head that sparks life, and then you give life and into this world, and it's so beautiful. And I think the thing is that, when we seize every opportunity to give encouragement, we offer the ability to create a safe place to encourage someone to still fulfill possibly a dream that gives life in their life and possibly life to others. When we are in a place that is hard to continue forward, there's many people that give up on dreams or hobbies or things that give them joy that can lessen their ability to even just continuously offer their life to others when it feels like it's a burden to move forward. Life should not be a strain. There's stress, there's obstacles, there are things that we are meant to overcome to be having a much more fulfilled life, but there are supposed to be things in our life that give us enjoyment and love and a purpose. And when you don't have that, life is hard.
Yeah.
We need to encourage each other. We need to lift each other up, and we should always encourage each other to find something, no matter what the hobby is, within means, that's as long as it's healthy, to be able to. All of us should have something that sparks love and joy in our lives.
That creative outlet.
Yes, as long as it's sane and humane, everyone should have it.
Yeah.
So we hope that today we've encouraged you. We hope that you have that one thing that gives you joy and peace and centers you to be able to continue on and be able to have a less stressful life, because even for all the hardships that this has given me, this centers me. Every single time I have a project, it centers me. It gives me a reason to stay put, to not move, to continue forward, and to find fulfillment
and purpose.
And so I love that. And I love that people are now asking me to make things for them, because when you're just stuck not knowing what to do with your gift and you're given a reason to do it and a meaning, it is one of the best feelings ever.
Exactly.
So as always, we hope that you are having a great day and that you are doing well on all your projects and that life is good and that whatever season this is, whether you're getting ready for your kids to go back to school, whether you're going into college, whether it's a new job, whether it's your grandkids going to school, whatever it is that you're in, or however life is treating you, we hope that your life is doing good, and that everything is going well for you, and that, as always, you stitch your way
To mental health.